Welcome back to the Great Outdoors Show. I'm your host, Bob Ide. As I mentioned, we're at Lake New Angola. We're going to do stand-up paddleboard, and Corinne Farrell from Balance Yoga in 44 is here, and along with Amanda and Aaron. And this is the paddleboard. So first, let's talk about the sport itself. What do you consider stand-up paddleboard yoga?
Okay, so stand-up paddleboard is this nice board here. This one is inflatable, so it's filled with air, which makes them really easy to transport. We take this board, take it out into the water. We're gonna start off kneeling. Eventually we'll stand up. We'll paddle ourselves out into the lake, and then we'll start practicing yoga while we're out there on the paddleboard.
Well, thanks to Amanda, she got in touch with you, so she's an expert. Aaron and I are kind of novices, but you said it's easy to learn, and we're gonna take you through that. I mean, even somebody like me, who's probably never done it and may fall in a couple times, but you can get used to it, and you're gonna make sure we do that.
I will. For the most part, you don't have to go into the water when you're on stand-up paddleboard yoga. We do a lot of the things really close. You can see the size of the board, it's really big.
It's huge, I know.
They're extremely stable.
Okay.
So just sitting or kneeling on the board, we can find all the elements of the yoga practice right from there that we never even really have to risk falling in the water.
Yeah, when I saw this, I took a deep breath and I feel a lot better now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get on the water. Ready?
All right.
We're ready, right?
We're ready. So before we get out on the water, we're just gonna go over really quickly the pieces of the stand-up paddleboard equipment to make sure that we know how to use them properly. So we have one hand on the handle, one hand on the shaft, and then the blade goes down in the water. When we're paddling, we're gonna place the blade in the water close to the nose or the front of the board. And then as we pull the blade back towards the back of the board, we're gonna push off of the hand that's on the handle and pull with the hand that's on the shaft. With that, we attach this anchor to the back of the board. And now while we're out there, when we find the spot that we'd like to stay for our practice, we open up our anchor, open up the handles, let the anchor drop, and then throw it from the boat. When we are gonna head out, we'll take the boat and place it out in the water. You're gonna start off kneeling with your knees on either side of the handle, so that when you're kneeling here, your hands can be here on the paddle to get on. And then you'll stand on your knees, so you're nice and tall, facing the nose, and start paddling out, standing on your knees. There you go, you got it. You're doing it right now. From there, when you feel comfortable, we take the paddle and place it perpendicular to the board so that we're still holding on to the paddle, and then kneeling. From there, you'll step your feet to opposite sides of the handle instead of your knees, and then holding on to the paddle, rolling yourself all the way up to standing. It's really important that you remember to hang on to the paddle. Otherwise, you come up to stand and realize that the paddle's down on the board still. You have to go back down, pick it up again. All right, how do you feel? Yay! So the beginning of our class always starts with a meditation and a grounding. So hopefully after paddling out here, you guys are a little bit more comfortable with your board and how it moves. So now we can sit here in this nice place of calm. Relax your shoulders, close your eyes, and take a few nice deep breaths. There are several limbs in the yoga practice, parts of it. One of them is asana. It's our movement, the way our body moves, the way we stretch, the shapes that we take. Another one is pranayama. It's your breathing. One of the things that happens sometimes in yoga classes is people are worried about where the front of the room is. And there's no front of the room here. So the winds and the lake are gonna turn you in the direction that they want you to face, and it often changes a few times during the class. Try not to hold on to expectation of how this will feel or go, and instead just remaining in gratitude, thankful for this moment, this opportunity to connect with nature. We call this cow pose. Then as you exhale, drawing your chin in, press and round in your back. And we call that cat. You can think of like an angry Halloween cat. Inhale, looking up, letting your belly drop down. And then exhale, rounding it out, finding the chin into the chest, pressing the board away. Good, then finding a bend again into that right knee. We'll ground the hands down. We can even take that right hand back to inside the right leg and then bring that right leg around. So we're back in tabletop. Excellent. From your tabletop position, take your hips towards the sky, reach for downward facing dog. So butt up, knees off the board. Yeah, head hangs down. The idea is that when our energy is ready, when our body is ready, then we stand up. We don't try to rush that feeling of standing up really fast. We want to make sure that we feel strong and stable the whole time. So as you come to your standing position, pressing down through your feet, remembering that our yoga practice requires strength and ease. If it feels good, you can take those arms up overhead and stretch up. That changes your center of gravity. So it can make it a little bit more challenging to take the arms up. The sport of stand-up paddleboarding has been around quite a while. It's very popular on the coasts, of course, because they use them out in the ocean. And then it's trickled its way from the coast towards more inland, where we use them on lakes and rivers. From there, the yoga community has taken the practice and found different ways that they can incorporate breathing and stretching techniques in different ways. And the stand-up paddleboard is one of those great ways we can do that. The water is soft, and there's lots of times in life where we think, I'm gonna go down, this is it. But the water is soft and warm, and you climb right back up on the board.
At least I went for the move.
Yeah.
You did. How do you get back on?
Maybe I bring my hands lightly to the board. To come down the hands, return back to the board nice and slow. Back heel lifts, back knee down.
I'm just taking a breather.
Totally. What Baba is doing is more of like a beginner back bend. So just finding a little bit of bridge pose there. Or we can find some of the more advanced yoga asana postures that look more like wheel. So you can find wheel pose on the board. What's important is not so much the shape as it is the person breathing and remaining focused on their breath and their presence, and that nothing that we do out here is done to harm our body. And you made it through your first paddleboard yoga class. So that's a little bit of what stand-up paddleboard yoga is like. You're welcome to come and join us on Sundays here at Lake New Angola. You can register through the website of balancenepa.com. And our studio is found in 40 Court. You can come and learn a little bit more about the yoga practice there as well.
Next on The Great Outdoors, putting the rod and reel in kids' hands.